air. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the New York Jets. A happy Christmas Eve to all. What a good one we have in store as we are underway here in Week 16. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
Right to the air is Rodgers.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And slow going there as they'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Again, it's Robinson. Down to about the 32. You talk about this Jets defense. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Ready. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd down at 7. Now they'll look to Willis to throw. Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was there, partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
And no no chance to get away as they get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the run, it's Robinson. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that.
On 3rd down, it's Willis. That is caught. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
And they'll run it here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you talk about this Jets defense,
they really played well in that win last week against Miami.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Hey, check that, street.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Willis will look to throw it. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This defense for the Jets, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
3rd down, it's Willis. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got two, we got two. Do I hear three? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they've got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
That was Carl Lawson in pursuit that time, and he gets the stop.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in his first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Now they'll change things up. Play fake. Here's Willis.
Rolling to his right. Able to push his way through. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
From the gun, here's Willis. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the 1st down.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Now this time, Willis throwing it.
And the Jets pressure 2 notches. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Here's Willis. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Rodgers now to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 40-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Mecole Hardman with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Zerline now for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score just 14. Commanders nothing.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Now 2nd and 9. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Willis to throw on 2nd. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
1st and 10, it's Willis. Slings this deep for McLaurin.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Rodgers now on 1st down.
And
his throw is going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Hey, where y'all going?
Rodgers to throw on second down.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be able to take it and right down Broadway. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has three options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Lazard will go in motion right.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And able to find Allen Lazard. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there.
The Jets had 8-6 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Wide left. 50.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, take 26.
Here's Rodgers. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Mecole Hardman with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Jets take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22.
Let's go.
They'll run here with Robinson. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. Cowboy 80. 19 tight, 19 tight. Mustang 19. Street.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by DJ Reed.
And the Jets are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Oh, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Over the middle, complete. It's Cook.
Into space at the 45.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
We are going.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Jets are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Commanders, nothing.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Ashton Davis.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He'll find Lazard here over the middle.
And they're going to have a 1st down and also well into field goal range, all the way down to the 15 here.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Dalvin Cook,
as the first half is winding down.
And the Jets will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Zerline good with a PAT, and the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Sauce Gardner picks it off. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
They start the drive with Cook.
And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The tackle by Quincy Williams.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Let's go now.
This is 2nd and 8.
Check, Bobcat. Check, Bobcat.
Now Willis.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Ashton Davis.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Rodgers now on first down. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, It's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Get 300. Get 300. 630. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 300.
Throwing is Rodgers. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Willis looking to throw it. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away.
Here's Hardman to return.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. No most of the time it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
26.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Rodgers will try again on second down. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And that's one of the few things that has not gone right for this offense so far. They've had their share of big plays. That was nearly another. But somehow, he just couldn't squeeze it.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short.
Ready.
Robinson, he'll try the left side.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
46 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They'll run again here with Robinson.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ready, ready.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Viking 18.
Willis. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 41 yards. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete to Lazard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Slant.
Rodgers now to throw. Completes it to Hardman. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from.
Touchdown, Jets! 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Check, Panther. Cougar 19. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Go, Rig, go. Ready,
On 1st down, Willis.
Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go, here we go.
2nd and 6.
Shot alert, shot alert. Alert, alert. Let go.
A give left side to Robinson.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
60 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
70 Lions. Go.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Hey, hey, check that, check that. Get up.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Yeah, he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Robinson with another carry. Down to about the 32.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Handoff now to Robinson.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now they'll work with 4 receivers here on 3rd down and long.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Come on.
Now they'll bring 4 receivers into the fold here. It's 3rd and long. Willis looks to pass it here.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Quentin Williams in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them.
Go! 19 Lions! Trap 60! Big Lions! Go!
One final try for Willis. That one downfield for Dotson.
And that will be incomplete as time has run out